What's up, YouTube? Timmy's here. Here is my Throwback 7, where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, 30, and 40 this week. Alright. The film celebrating their 10th anniversary is the movie Focus. Now, this was, of course, like a romantic, type thriller here, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie, which was like actually a year before Suicide Squad came out, and of course, they were both in that too. This movie, of course, starred both Smith and Robbie and follows a con artist who takes an aspiring female fatale under his wing. And it's actually a really nice little thriller, like very underrated to be honest. Will Smith, Margot Robbie was both pretty good in this. Really decent little thriller, if you guys have seen it. Also turning 10 is The Lazarus Project. Not to be confused with the show that premiered that TNT premiered. This was actually like a Flatliners like show, where like medical researcher Frank, his fiancee Zoe, played by Olivia Wilde, and their team have to achieve the impossible, find ways to bring back the dead, and it's not so good. You also had like Donna Glover, Evan Peters, some good cast members, but the movie really wasn't all that scary. It wasn't like the horror wasn't all that good. It's just not a good movie at all. So very forgettable to be honest. Though. All right, films turning 20 this week is Tyler Perry, the first Madea movie to ever come out, by the way. Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Now, despite this being a Tyler Perry movie, believe it or not, he actually did not really direct it, which I always keep forgetting he did not direct Diary of a Mad Black Woman. He only mostly starred, wrote it, and all. And if you guys don't know much about, again, this was actually the first Madea movie to ever come out. Obviously, beforehand, Madea was always like a stage show and all. This also had the likes of Kimberly Lee, Steve Harris, Samar Moore, and it tells a woman who is thrown out of her home by her husband on their 13th wedding anniversary and moves in with her grandmother as the only. And again, it's actually the only film, the only Medea movie Tyler Perry did not direct. And actually, was that like the best Medea movie? I still always had. I actually thought this was a pretty good one. Kimberly Elise was pretty good. Tyler Perry, he is Medea. Like, it's always fun every time he puts on the Medea outfit and all. And yeah, I really had a fun time with this one. All right, also turning 20 is Man of the House. Not to be confused with the Chevy Chase, Farrah Fawcett, Jonathan Taylor Thomas film that came out like in the 90s. This movie here starred the likes of Tommy Lee Jones, Cedric the Entertainer, Christina Milian, Ollie Ermy was also in this. If you guys don't know much about Man of the House, it's about this lonesome Texas Ranger, played by Tommy Lee Jones, who goes undercover as assistant coach to protect a group of college cheerleaders who have witnessed a murder. And it's not a great film or anything, but it actually has. It's actually pretty fun here. Tommy Lee Jones, like, pretty funny seeing him in a lighthearted comedy like this. Cedric the Entertainer is pretty good. Christina Milian, who I've had a crush on Christina Milian always in the early 2000s. Like, who did not adore her? Of course, she's great on Dexter Original Sims, by the way. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give this one a go. All right. Also turning uh also turning 20 is the Wes Craven movie called Curse, which starred the likes of Christina Ricci, Jesse Eisenberg, Joshua Jackson, Marlon Ventimiglia, Portia de Rossi, singer Maya was in this. And it's where like siblings Ellie, played by Christina Ricci, and Jimmy, played by Jesse Eisenberg, comes across an accident on Mulholland Drive. And of course, as they try to help the woman caught in the wreckage, a creature attacks them. And of course, they slowly discover that the creature was a werewolf. And was not like Wes Craven's best work. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as, let's say, something like Scream, uh, The Last House on the Left or anything. definitely had its creepy moments here. Christina Ricci was pretty good. Maya, very popular singer at the time, was pretty good in this too. Really needs a little horror film here. All right. Film turning 30 this week is The Walking Dead. Not to be confused with the TV show, by the way. The Walking Dead, speaking of Tyler Perry, by the way, starred Alan Payne, who you might know from that Tyler Perry show, House of Pain. Joe Morton, Eddie Griffin was in this, and pretty much like depicts the lives of five Marines who are all assigned to rescue a group of POW during the Vietnam Wars in 1972. It's not really too memorable, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't really remember too much of it. So, the film, oh, also turning 30 is a really nice little action, like very underrated little thriller called The Haunted, which starred Christopher Lambert, who you might know from Highlander fame. And of course, you have Lambert, who plays Paul Raikkonen, an American businessman who, by ancient accident, earns the wrath of a ninja clan led by John Lone character. The action of this was pretty fun. Lambert was pretty cool. I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, it's a really decent one worth giving it a go. All right, films turning 40 this week is The Shirding. Of course, directed by Rob Reiner, who will obviously go on to direct other stuff like Stand by Me, Misery, many other like North, many other like Rob Reiner is obviously he was always more known as a TV actor on the show All in the Family, but as a director, he is probably one of the best directors in the business. And the show thing is actually a pretty nice little a little nice little teen comedy from the '80s. It starred John Cusack, Daphne Zuniga, Nicholas Sheridan, and it chronicles the cross country journey of college students Walter Gibson, played by Cusack, and Allison Bradbury, played by Daphne Zuniga, as they make their way to New England, from New England to LA over the Christmas break, and each an effort to meet their romantic match here. Really, of course, John Cusack was very popular in the '80s. Thanks for say anything. And of course, he was also in Stand by Me as well. The show thing is definitely a very fun little teen comedy worth giving a go. John Cusack was pretty good in it, so if you guys haven't seen it, definitely give that one a go. All right. Also turning 40 is Missing in Action 2, The Beginning, which is actually a prequel to the first Missing in Action. Of course, you got like Chuck. This movie, of course, starred Chuck Norris, and pretty much shows like the captures of Colonel Braddock during the Vietnam War in the 1970s and his captivity here. And it's not as good as the first film, but it definitely had some fun moments in it. Chuck Norris is pretty good in this. I mean, I say give this one a go if you guys haven't seen that. All right. Also turning 40 is The Purple Rose of Cairo, which was written and directed by Woody Allen, starring Mia Farrow, Jeff Daniels, Danny Aiello, and of course the film. This is of course a tale of a film character named Tom Baxter, who leads a fictional film of the same name and enters the real world. It's not really, let's say, Woody Allen's best work. I mean, say what you want about Woody Allen's personal life. He has always he is actually a pretty solid filmmaker. Whether you talk about Annie Hall, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, like Woody Allen, is actually a pretty decent filmmaker. Just a creepazoid person, but hey. Uh, but this is actually not a bad one. I mean, Woody Allen, Mia Farrow's pretty good. Dan Aiello was pretty good in this one, so I'd say give that one a go if you guys haven't seen it. Also turning 40 is The Aviator. Not to be confused with the Martin Scorsese Leonardo DiCaprio film of the same name, which was the Howard Hughes movie. The Aviator starred Christopher Reeve, aka the late former Superman actor, who plays Edgar, who's a former military flyer, scarred by a training tragedy, and now working as a animal pilot. And not a bad film here. Christopher Reeve, like obviously you always know him as Superman, but he has done other interesting roles before. Like remember he was in the movie Noise is Off and all. And the Aviator is a pretty decent role for him. Really showcase how great he is like outside playing Superman, and not a bad little film here. All right. Oh yeah, also Rosanna Arquette was in this. Jack Warden, from Problem Child fame. Scott Wilson from Walking Dead fame. Ty Daly from Cagney and Lacey fame. Some pretty good cast members was in this too. All right. Also turning 40 is Certain Fury, which stars uh, former child actress Tatum O'Neal, who actually plays a hooker here, and of course you have a rich girl played by Ari Carroll, who I believe will actually go on to voice Pocahontas, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, both they are of course but from the court, and they hit the street and fight their way through the drug underworld. It's not really too memorable to be honest, yeah. But of course, this was like really Tatum O'Neal showcasing her, pretty much her stuff like outside of being a child actor and all, and so not a bad little film here. Anyway, that is pretty much it there. Let me let you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year one is Focus. The 20-year one is Diary of a Mad Black Woman. The 30-year one, I'm gonna say The Hunted, and the 4-year one is The Sure Thing. Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing.